What's up, everybody? This is Chris Surratt bringing another edition of the Car Concierge Show, the show that helps with the buying, selling, maintaining, and repairing of your vehicle. On today's show is going to be a second peep type show. We're going to talk about BYD as they come out with their new charging ports that are going to cut charging times a lot. We're also going to revisit the I-35 deadly crash, check out who the suspect is in that situation. And last but not least, we're going to check out the situation with Tesla and Elon Musk as the attacks continue on the Tesla vehicles and dealerships. Alright, so first off, we're going to check out a story about BYD. BYD, of course, we'll talk about them a lot, is a electric vehicle company over in China. They're not technically allowed to be in America right now, but they are trying to make roads into America. And one way they're doing it is just putting out a great product that a lot of people are going to want. And one of the new products they're putting out is a charging station that charges your vehicle in about 5 minutes. Let's check that story out.
Chinese electric vehicle maker BYD unveiled a new quick charging system which can add nearly 250 miles of range from a charge in as little as 5 minutes, or about as long as it takes to fill up a gas tank. BYD's founder says in order to completely solve users' charging anxiety, we have been pursuing a goal to make the charging time of electric vehicles as short as refueling time of petrol vehicles. This is the first time in the industry that the unit of megawatt has been achieved on charging power. The announcement Monday also includes a commitment to build more than 4,000 of the new ultra-fast charging systems across China. Timeline is unclear.
Sorry, I wanted to cut in there. It is going to be extremely important for electric vehicle makers to create a situation where the customers, most of our customers, are going to realize that having an electric vehicle is still prudent and timely. And one of the main things that is because of the charging situation on these vehicles. I talk a lot about how it's almost a bad thing to have an electric vehicle if you don't have a home charger. It's one of those situations where you almost definitely have to charge your electric vehicle overnight because it takes a decent amount of time to charge these electric vehicles. And the charging ports and charging stations that we have out right now, they take forever. Of course, I've driven a couple of EV vehicles. I only had to charge at a charging station maybe 2 times, and it took maybe 35-45 minutes to charge the vehicle, and that's just way too long for a person to have to be charging their vehicle out in the world. You know, it's definitely a situation where they have to put together an infrastructure that allows for people to charge their vehicles as fast as they can gas their vehicles up if they want to make sure that people decide that they're going to go over to EV vehicles. I mean, it's so convenient to run over to a gas station. I did it today. It's so convenient to run over to a gas station, drop $50 and pump gas that doesn't take more than 5-10 minutes to get into your car. It's really convenient, and you lack that when it comes to EV vehicles. And it's going to definitely be a situation where before they reach these EV mandates or milestones that they had in place that are not in place now because they were definitely something that was going to be extremely hard to reach, it's going to have to definitely be a situation if you want to move the world in a more EV place, is going to be trying to change over gas stations into EV stations and make EV stations as fast and as prudent as your standard gas station. So you're definitely going to have to, and I've been looking into this, I think it's one of the investments that I plan to go into, but looking into turning gas stations into charging stations, selling electric chargers, EV chargers to the marathons, the 76s or whatever around the world. Those are the places that people need to have EV chargers as well as these charging stations. A big problem with charging stations, of course, is that they're not manned, and they standardly don't. It's not like a standard gas station where there's somebody working there. You can pump gas and go get you something to drink or get you some chips or something like that. That's not available at these EV stations, and it's going to have to become a norm when it comes to owning an EV vehicle, that you can go to a standard gas station and charge up your EV vehicle and charge it up fairly quickly. Let's keep going.
The move comes as most BYD owners in China reportedly rely on other EV manufacturers' chargers to keep their vehicles juiced up. Known as Super E platform technology, the new BYD chargers are capable of peak speeds that are reportedly twice as fast as Tesla's V4 Superchargers, scheduled to come out later this year. The BYD charging tech is only available in two models, the Han L sedan and the Tang L SUV, which starts at a little less than $40,000. This isn't the EV maker's only recent announcement. Earlier this month, it released a roof-mounted drone launcher available for all of its models, allowing drones to take off and land up to 15 miles per hour. BYD is also catching up to Tesla with 1.76 million cars sold in 2024, just behind Tesla's 1.79 million sold last year. But BYD's figures also include hybrid models, and 90% of sales are in China. For more on this story, download the Straight Arrow News app or visit san.com. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey.
Yeah, it's definitely, and this is why I am truly a big proponent of BYD. I definitely talk a lot about buying American and all that, and I understand that right now we're in a situation where we definitely have to build up our own economy and buy American and make sure we stay in America when it comes to certain purchases and stuff like that. But that doesn't stop me from saying that BYD is a fantastic product. They're doing great things, and they keep moving the needle forward when it comes to the automotive industry. Putting out a EV charger that's going to charge your vehicle in 5 minutes is top notch. It's a necessity, and it's definitely a necessity in our world where we're trying to move towards a completely EV world, which is going to be impossible, don't get me wrong, but to do it, this has to be it here. Now, it did say that Tesla is coming up with something similar. Probably it's going to take still a long time to charge the vehicles with the Tesla model, as they said, but we're going to have to do that. You are going to definitely have to integrate your standard gas station with EV charging stations. That is the move. It's definitely a power move for people like me who like to start little businesses like that, to get Marathon and the 76s of the world to buy into putting EV charging stations on their already gas station locations. That is going to be the best way to handle this. Now, how it's going to go about, I don't know. But you can tell that they stay away from that because they're in a position where EV charging stations don't produce a lot of money, just definitely not as much money as you would get from petrol. And the gas stations around here are making a lot of money off petrol. That's just the fact. You can raise and lower the cost of gas so easily that it's a moneymaker for these places. So they are not incentivized right now to get into the EV charging situation, but they will be if you start a situation where a lot more people are driving EV vehicles, because a lot more EV vehicles on the road, a lot less gas-powered vehicles on the road, a lot less money for these gas station owners. So it's going to be a catch-22. It's definitely going to be something we definitely have to watch. We're going to check out, of course, the Tesla Supercharger. Maybe it gets it done in a decent amount of time as well. But, it's definitely a situation where I am still telling people that the BYD company, the BYD vehicles are fantastic. I really hope we get to a place where we can start getting those vehicles over here, because they're great priced and they're just fantastic vehicles. And I probably, other than if I buy this Cadillac Lyriq my plan really was, if I was to get an EV vehicle, of course, Cadillac Chris, probably get a Cadillac Lyriq, maybe an electric Escalade, but dollars and donuts, I really like that Tang, the BYD SUV. I'm telling you guys, these cars are nice. And the fact that you can't get them over here is understandable. I understand why. I understand all of that. Hopefully we get to a place where they'll work with us so we can start driving these vehicles, because most people like variety. I like variety. I know you like variety. So, and that's, of course, that's the biggest fight against tariffs and all of that type of thing, because people are going to be afraid that the need for variety is going to be affected, because most other products are going to come from other countries and they might get hit with tariffs and then be more expensive. So you'd be put in a situation where you have to buy American. And I say, then your ass better buy American. All right, let's keep moving. So, on Sunday, we did this story about the I-35 crash. It wasn't very much news. It was fresh, but they do have a suspect. We're going to check out a couple stories about that I-35 crash. Check out a story about the suspect, and just, you know, we're going to start to definitely keep abreast of crashes, why they happen, where they're happening, because we want to get to a point where we understand, you know, the best ways for people to continue to be safe. You know, this seems to be a situation where, you know, it wasn't a situation where these people who passed away in this situation had controlled anything. It seems like the suspect that killed them was just on one. So, but we're going to definitely start doing more stories about crashes and car accidents so we can understand them and understand how they happen and understand our best way to try to avoid them. All right, so a couple stories about the deadly I-35 crash, couple updates. We're going to check out those and we're going to keep it moving.
An infant child and 3 adults are dead. About a dozen people were taken to area hospitals for injuries, half of them critical and life-threatening. The horrific crash happened a little before midnight on Thursday, going southbound on I-35 near Palmer Lane in North Austin.
This is a difficult situation, and my heart and prayers go out to everyone involved and impacted.
We're told traffic was slowing to a near stop because of the construction work zones.
The work zone consisted of closure from 3 to 1 lane and a reduction in the speed limit.
Witnesses reported seeing the semi plow through vehicles like it never even braked to slow down. The crash site involved nearly 20 cars and took 14 hours to clear.
Estábamos en la línea del lado derecho.
We were in the right lane when you suddenly heard My husband looked through, saw in the rearview mirror, and there was an Amazon trailer that came through and crashed into all of the cars.
Another person on the scene told police that there was a driver who was trying to leave. 37-year-old Solomon Waldekil Araya was found hiding in his 18-wheeler with an Amazon Prime logo. Araya saying someone cut him off and that he tried to slam on the brakes, but they didn't work. The APD officer with the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Unit could not find any issues with it.
A truck-tractor approach failed to slow down and struck several vehicles.
Texas DPS pulled up several transgressions filed against Araya in the week leading up to the fatal crash, including past and present issues with logging his hours of service, as well as hazardous moving violations while driving a commercial motor vehicle. The suspect was due in a Wilmer courtroom near Dallas the morning after the crash for going more than 30 miles per hour over the speed limit.
This incident was incredibly chaotic, and it was spread out over about 1/10 of a mile.
According to the affidavit, Araya's eyes were bloodshot and watery. His speech was mumbled. Araya told officers that he had not been drinking, wasn't on drugs or taking any medications, got plenty of sleep, and took a 3-hour nap before getting behind the wheel. But after conducting several sobriety and field tests, they found him mentally and physically incapable of driving. He was then placed under arrest for a DWI. Araya also told police that he had been on the road for 2 hours traveling from Dallas to San Antonio. Indicators led investigators to believe he could have been under the influence of CNS depressants, which are medications like Xanax or benzos that have a sedative, tranquilizing effect. Police say he understood English but mostly spoke Tigrinya, which is native to Ethiopia, a country in East Africa. Araya is being charged with 5 counts of intoxication manslaughter, a charge for each life ended, and 2 counts of intoxication assault.
Wow.
Win with the $1 billion team.
That's, man. So, we got an Amazon driver killing multiple people over in Texas and high on drugs. This is one of those stories that we can't, there's no, there's nothing we can pull from this that would be positive. Nothing we can pull from this that would be helpful in your driving situation. This is just a situation where we're dealing with a drug addict, horrible driver who obviously this is not first time that people were made aware that he was a horrible driver or that he was an irresponsible employee. But he continued to be on the road, and it's sad that it's not sad. It's horrible that they don't know what kind of drugs he was on, but it's more horrible that he was on drugs, driving around to the point where he killed several people. My friends, drugs are one of those things that have been destroying our world for a long time. I can't say anything really. I dealt, in my younger days, I dealt and dabbled into the narcotic world, and of course I had to get out after it started affecting my life. Not user-wise, but jail and stuff like that was coming down on me. So you had to get away from it, and it's just truly sad that this young man was on drugs to the point where he was so impaired that he drove and killed all those people. And I really wanted to update you guys on this so we could find out what happened. And because the original story just didn't have a lot of naysay on really what happened, but we understand now that it was an Amazon semi-truck that plowed into all these people. So I'm going to pray for all of the families of the people that died in this situation. We're going to hope that justice is served to this young man, and if he needs help, that he gets help, but definitely hope that justice is served, because this is definitely a situation where this should not have happened. It should not have happened. It shouldn't be people dead because this young man decided he wanted to get on drugs and go to work and drive on the highway for 2 hours to San Antonio. All right, we're gonna skip over the other I-35 video I was gonna watch because it's just a sad story. And well, no, we're gonna do it. This one shows the people who passed away, and that's important. So we're gonna do it anyway. And a fairly cute newscaster too, so let's go and do it.
The driver of a semi-truck crashed into nearly stopped traffic on I-35 last week. 11 other people were hurt. Police say the driver was under the influence of drugs at the time of that crash. Travis County officials have identified the victims in the crash as 32-year-old Sergio Daniel Lopez, 25-year-old Natalia Helena Perez, and 78-year-old Ma Concepcion Joaquin de Joaquin. APD identified the semi-driver as 37-year-old Solomon Araya, and he is charged with 5 counts of intoxication manslaughter with the vehicle and 2 counts of intoxication assault with the vehicle involving serious bodily injury. An attorney for Araya told KXAN today, quote, "My investigation is just beginning, and I cannot assume that the police or NTSB have been thorough or accurate in theirs."
All right, so just wanted to do that real quickly, show the names of those 3 victims, and so we can pray for them and, you know, pray for their families. Okay? All right, so last but not least, we're going to do another revisit on the whole Tesla Musk attack. Now, as everybody knows, specifically because of the Doge situation and Tesla and Elon Musk helping the American government find problems in, the finances. You know what I'm talking about. This is a situation where Doge, run by Musk, is just trying to find idiosyncrasies and problems when it comes to our spending. And he's found a lot. Let's face it. We've seen that he's found a lot of those problems in the spending when it comes to the government. But people ain't happy about it. Lots and lots of people are not happy about it. Now, and that's fine and dandy if people are not happy about what he's doing and they don't see the benefit of it. And I expect that from, people who probably lost their jobs because of this situation or something like that. But we are in a situation where we're running into these zealots that keep attacking Teslas, Tesla dealerships, Tesla cars, and it's about to amount to terrorism. So let's check out a quick story, balancing the whole situation, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit more.
Now, the 2 Tesla fires in Las Vegas this year, part of a much bigger, larger national, even worldwide trend. 8 News Now investigator Kyle Payne joining us live in studio now. And Kyle, what do we know about how today's attack fits into the larger scheme?
Well, Denise, I don't think we need a manifesto to tie this string of Tesla vandalism to its owner, Elon Musk, and his new boss, the President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Thank you.
When Tesla Motors CEO Elon Musk gave these thank you salutes to the crowd at President Donald Trump's inauguration in January,
if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt.
He wasn't yet the face of billions of dollars of controversial cuts to the United States budget.
What democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
Federal employees and critics nationwide angry that he and Doge, the federal department he heads, have laid off thousands of government workers and slashed.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Those countless billions on the way to maybe $1 trillion from the budget.
His influence needs to go way down. He needs to have way less money and leverage over everyone. It's just really disgusting.
Disgusting, this peaceful.
How can you say that he needs to have way less money? Is this a situation where people are trying to make the modern day Iron Man just a regular person? I digress.
Protest organizers said, but it's less peaceful demonstrations all over the country that have police departments and the FBI on high alert.
Similar incidents, targeted attacks at Tesla facilities.
Especially after a handful of Tesla Cybertrucks caught fire in Seattle a week ago. Fires intentionally set like this one at a charging station about an hour outside of Boston, and direct attacks at Musk like this one on the side of a Tesla in Chicago. All seemingly individual attacks. But Monday, news of this doxing website showing and shaming individual addresses of Tesla owners across the country.
That's crazy. So, addresses of Tesla owners, that's the problem. You want to attack Tesla, but the way you attack Tesla is by attacking Tesla owners. That's just out of bounds, man. That's just why. Why? Because is this going to hurt Elon Musk? Hell, it's not even going to hurt Tesla. These Teslas already been sold. This ain't hurting them. These zealots are just not smart.
Apparently, including the director of the FBI and his home here in southern Nevada. With a Molotov cocktail as a cursor, crazy. The implication, get rid of your Teslas or else.
We're not ignoring the fact that there are clear factors that this could be politically motivated. We are going to investigate all aspects of this and not leave any stone unturned and not leave any possibility or theory on motive untouched.
Bomb squad and arson investigators are looking into a fire that burned 2 Teslas at a dealership in Kansas City last night. And the attacks are also happening internationally. Among them, a couple was arrested last week for attacking one of Elon Musk's bots in London. Tesla shares have also dropped more than 40% since President Trump took office, David.
And Elon Musk does not care. He's rich. He's uber rich, so he don't care. He don't care nothing about these attacks. He don't care nothing about y'all trying to stop him from doing anything. He said that already several times. He has no fear of losing money when it comes to Tesla. He has no fear of, retribution for people who are upset about the whole Doge situation. The man is infallible, and the fact that he continues to do what he wants to do and continues to work with President Trump to, cut the budget or get rid of people who they find to have wasteful positions. Now, mind you, we here at the Car Concierge Show definitely hate layoffs, hate people getting terminated, hate. That is one of our biggest pet peeves. And we hate that these people are losing their jobs. So what we will say, though, is that if it is true that these jobs are positions of waste and, they're really not doing anything and they're not, producing for the United States of America and the American government, then maybe it is time for you to find a different job. Maybe it is time for you to work in the real world and not the government, to the point where they might be subsidizing you instead of you working for them. It's a crazy situation, I understand. Doge is a crazy situation. President Trump has been a super straightforward president who has done super straightforward things, and it's rubbing some people the wrong way. Not me. I think that most of the stuff he's doing, particularly because I concentrate on the automotive industry, particularly the things in the automotive industry that he does, I think they're great. I think they're working out great for us. I think the tariffs are great for us. I think it's really going to put us back in a position of power that we lost while we were importing everything from every country and not, protecting our wealth in the same token. So it's, these attacks, it's just bad. It's a real super zealot type situation with these people, and it's definitely, they got the FBI involved, so y'all people about to do federal time for this. They're gonna start rounding people up. They know who did it. If you did this at a Tesla dealership, it's cameras everywhere, so you're on camera. You better hope you didn't show your face, because if they catch you, you're gonna do federal time for some dumb shit. For destroying other people's property. Real quick, there was that attack, the Tesla attack in Las Vegas, that I wanted to check out. They didn't speak on that very much, and that happened.
Monitors out of Las Vegas, it shows multiple Teslas on fire in what police are calling a targeted attack. Police found at least 5 Teslas burned or shot at with guns. This happening at a Tesla facility in Las Vegas. The incident follows a string of protests and violence targeting Tesla across the country over Tesla CEO Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. So CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez joining us live now from Las Vegas. Elon Musk is calling this quote unquote terrorism, but what do we know at this point?
Well, it's not only the CEO of Tesla that's calling it terrorism. The local head of the FBI office here in Las Vegas said that this had the hallmarks of terrorism. He points out that there was the writing on the front doors of this repair shop, the words resist, which may lead to a political agenda, a political motivation behind this attack. Then there was the act of violence, Molotov cocktails used to set at least 5 cars on fire. 2 of them fully engulfed. Some of the charred remains right there in the parking lot. Officers right now maintaining a visible presence out here at this repair shop and at dealerships across the Las Vegas area. Meanwhile, detectives at headquarters right now are scouring several pieces of evidence. Some of that video from folks that took video from across the street. This happened in the middle of the night on Tuesday morning around 3 a.m. So it caused a lot of commotion. Folks woke up, broke out their cell phones, took video of the guy dressed in all black, firing shots at some of the vehicles besides tossing those Molotov cocktails. They're also reviewing surveillance cameras from a nearby thoroughfare. It's a major thoroughfare, so a lot of surveillance cameras as well as license plate readers. So they're right now extracting all that data, trying to trace back the steps of this suspect. And once they catch this guy, they're going to be trying him to the fullest extent of the law. Attorney General Pam Bondi saying that these acts of vandalism are going to be treated as domestic terrorism. And while there is not a single specific federal domestic terrorism charge in the law books, there are a series of other charges that they can bring up that would essentially chalk it up to that level. Pam Bondi saying that some of these folks, if convicted, would be in federal prison for at least 5 years. Just last Friday, they arrested 2 guys out in Colorado for setting Molotov cocktails there and setting some of those cars on fire, and some of the charges that they face. I'm going to go ahead and read those to you just because I want to make sure that we get these right. They are facing, the 2 men facing the use of explosive incendiary devices during a felony, possession of such devices, second-degree arson, and criminal mischief. So again, if these gentlemen are convicted, they may face up to 5 years in federal prison. So right now, for law enforcement, they're trying to get this guy. There's a lot of resources being devoted to this particular case here in Las Vegas, given the high-profile nature of the case. And the biggest concern for these guys is that, for law enforcement, is the fact that right now, a lot of these incidents of vandalism have been the keying of these Tesla vehicles, the setting them on fire. No driver has been physically hurt, but they're worried that it may escalate to that.
Andres Gutierrez. Andres, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I had a friend over there in Vegas call me and tell me about it prior to this even coming out. And you know, it's you're gonna send you fools over to Guantanamo Bay, man. It's federal charges, 5 years, man. What's wrong with y'all? Why? Why is this? Is this proving a point to some degree? Is literally the people whose cars are destroyed or dealerships' cars are destroyed? Insurance is gonna take care of them. They'll be fine. The only person that's gonna be hurt in these situations is the people committing the crimes, the people who gonna go to jail over this dumb shit. And that's why are you such zealots that you think that this is going to prove some point, that it's going to make some change? The way the president is moving, the way that Musk is moving, they are in positions where they don't have to change what they're doing. Because the main reason is because what they're doing is working, and most of the American people see that what they're doing is working. So it's only this small portion of people that think that this is wrong and that's wrong, that are deciding that they're going to turn themselves into zealots and risk their freedom to prove a point. And it's a horrible point to prove. The only point you're proving is you have the ability to destroy other people's property, and your dumb ass is going to go to Guantanamo Bay. That's all you're talking about. You must have mad freedom. You must have a job that you can do without. You must have family that you can be away from. Because that's what's about to happen if you keep doing this dumb shit and then messing with vehicles because of your political ideals. All right, my friends, I'm going to let y'all get up out of here. It's been a rough day. All the way around, rough day. But I'm still smiling, I'm still happy, and I hope that you're still smiling and still happy too. I'm your host, Chris C-Pup Surratt. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show. Hit me in the DMs if you have any questions, any new storylines you want me to tackle. And we're definitely going to get back to making sure you know what to do about your car and get away from all this political talk if we can. And I'm out. Peace.